Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here to celebrate with me. Thank you for watching the video. If you find that I provide any interesting information or something that someone else can use, please share it out because you never know what someone is going through. Thank you again for joining. My name is Sophia. I am a certified life, relationship, forgiveness, and so many other types of coaches. But right now I am here to talk about chronic illness. So again, thank you for joining. Please do like, comment, and share. It helps get the word out to people who may actually need the information if it does not pertain to you. And if it does pertain to you, thank you again. Please like, share, comment, because I do respond to all of my comments, all of my DMs as much as humanly possible. So let's talk about the bar at the bottom. So that's the address where you can get in touch with me. I am Coach Sophia. And I am here today to talk about my husband's 5th kidneyversary. So for those who haven't had any dealings with transplants or any dealings with kidney disease of any sort, my husband had a bout with kidney disease when we were in our early 20s. He actually went on dialysis and subsequently got a transplant. But before I get into all of that, let me tell you what I'm asking of you besides liking, commenting, and sharing. I'm asking you that if you are someone who's caring for a person with chronic illness, to please trust the process. Please, please, please trust the process. There is a process. You just have to trust it. Reach out for help the moment you feel overwhelmed. And that's my second ask. The moment you feel overwhelmed, please reach out for help. You can never reach out for help too soon. Even when you get the diagnosis, at that point, reach out for help. And third, feel free to contact me using the information below. That link, bit.ly/connectwithcoach, will connect you with me on any of my social media platforms, as well as to my personal email address. Anything, any type of way you need to contact me, that will be the way you do it. Okay, so about me, again, I'm a wife. I have been married to my husband. This year makes, I believe, 7 years. It's 20. No, my gosh, it's 9 years. 9 years this year. And it's the greatest undertaking I've ever had in my life, aside from raising children. So us raising our children together and just being together and going through this life together has been something that I never would have expected, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm a mother. Just spoke about our 3 children. They are adults now, so we are not quite empty nesters, but we're pretty close to it. And I'm a life coach. I work with women usually about self-esteem, being their authentic selves, and I just help them become the people that they really want to be, that they're destined to be in life. But I don't do it by myself, and I don't promise any magic fixes. What I do promise is that I will work as hard just as you do to give you the life that you want to live. Okay, so the purpose of this series, as I said, was to help caregivers, specifically spousal caregivers, to kind of navigate the process better than I did. Because again, we were in our early 20s. No one wants to take on chronic illness in your early 20s. So I can't imagine parents who have children who are chronically ill, because you're dealing with it from a very different level, and you are dealing with it with someone that actually came out of your body. It's difficult. It will be difficult, but there will be good days. So I'm hoping these 10 tips, this is just day 1 or session 1, they help. They came from a lot of my mistakes, honestly. They came from a lot of things I didn't know, because I thought this was going to be, maybe a 1-year process, a 2-year process. It turned into about 15 years. So it's important that you know that you have to be in it for the long haul. This probably won't be easy, and it will probably take some time. And, you just have to be there, be in it. Like I said, if you trust the process, 1, and if you reach out for help, 2, and if you, your immediate people, but if you need someone outside of your circle, because sometimes you will need to vent to someone other than those in your immediate circle, those who you know personally, you will need to vent, and I can be that person for you. So bit.ly/connectwithcoach is how you will reach me, okay? So the first one. Oh, one more thing before I get to my first tip. So medical disclosure. I am not a medical doctor. I'm not. I'm just really not. So I would ask you to consult with your doctor, follow your doctor's orders, because I can't tell you to disobey anything that they give you. I am a life coach. I am not, again, a medical doctor. So you take the steps you feel is best for yourself and your spouse that you're caring for, or any person that you're caring for. Follow medical advice is my advice to you. To the extent that it serves you, ask lots of questions, okay? Do that of your medical provider. And that's actually going to be covered later on. But today's tip is be patient. Be patient. And if you wonder why I keep looking down, I have tons of notes here because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to do you a disservice by missing anything. So I took the time to write out notes. So first, be patient. I don't know how many times I can say this. This is the most important one in my eyes because I wasn't patient, and that was also a matter of not knowing what questions to ask of my medical providers. So this will be a season of hurry up and wait, which means you're going to be told to do a lot of things and you have to go get them done quickly, maybe some medical tests or get to the hospital or get to an office or get to the specialist. But what they don't tell you, what the providers don't tell you, is that you're going to have to wait for you to get the results. Maybe you'll have to have a hospital stay, and you'll just do a lot of these things that will be beneficial, and you probably can't see it right now from the beginning, from the onset. Hurry up and wait is the name of this season. So learn patience. If you don't already have patience, which I didn't, and I've grown into them, but I'm not great at it, learn patience, okay? Let's see. Doctors will have you do lots of tests. Just pray about it. I don't know who you pray to or if you even pray, but if you don't, get somebody to sit with you. Get somebody, learn things to do things that will take up your time. I had work, I had the kids, I had lots of different things to go ahead and take up my time. So you do that. Learn what your spouse or the person you're caring for, learn what takes up their time. Learn what keeps them from being anxious, because you're going to need that. Right now is time for you to build a stockpile of things that you know will help you cope. Your coping mechanisms are important, whether it's music, whether it's journaling, whether it's coloring. Coloring has become a big thing for me. And that actually helped my husband a lot when he was in the hospital. So coloring, it may seem juvenile, but it is such a great time waster, and you end up making something really beautiful. Learn something new. Cross-stitching is something I would like to learn, so I'm going to pick that up pretty soon. I recently took up wreath making. Who knew I like to make wreaths? But I took up wreath making. So I've gifted a few to different family members. So just find something that you know you like to do, or if you already have stuff you like to do, go ahead and do that. I would say make a go bag, a bag that if you have to hurry up and rush to the hospital, have stuff in there already. A new set of crayons, some word searches, some coloring books, your latest cross-stitching project, something you'd like to try, books that you like to read. I know we all have these digital books and stuff, but there's nothing like, for me, a paper book. So do that. One thing that really tested my faith was we had a lot of false starts. So, since we're celebrating 5 years, my husband did eventually get a kidney transplant. But I think we got about 3 calls for a transplant before the real one finally came through. That can discourage you. It will make you think that, things aren't going well, things aren't on your side, and nothing is further from the truth. What I had to learn in this journey is that false starts are necessary because they keep you looking forward. They let you know that things are still working on your behalf. So for me, it was like, okay, at least he was still on the case manager's mind, because his blood type had to come up for them to even call. This kidney came up because it matched him. So his case manager was diligently working and comparing, the different kidneys that came in to him. And that was helpful. And like I said, lots of mistakes, but in hindsight, that was helpful. Like after the first one, I was devastated. The second one, not so much. The third one, I was like, another one will come up. So it builds your self-esteem. It builds your confidence in knowing that you're not being patient in vain. Things are working together for your good. The biggest one, and this one, oh my gosh, I can't even verbalize it hardly, because it was important to know that I had to be patient with myself. I tried to do every single thing for my husband. I tried. And to my credit, because I'm awesome, I almost succeeded, but I burned myself out after a while. And I can tell you, 5 years he was on dialysis. About 3 or 4 years he was, about 3, almost 4 years he was on managing with medication. So medication came first. Then his kidney function declined as such that he had to go on dialysis. After dialysis, what happened was he had his surgery, and right after, I would say a week, about a week, week and a half, he had to have another major surgery. And I'll go into that in one of the later tip videos. But he had to have another major surgery. So not only did he have one, but 2 major surgeries within the space of about 2.5 weeks. And I was going. I didn't have to go to work because I had already applied for FMLA. So look up, if you're working a job for a company, look up your rights to FMLA. And I was just there caring for him. It was me and the kids caring for him. And I got burnt out. And I honestly think I snapped on him a couple times. And it was all because I let myself burn out. I had to be patient with myself to know that I couldn't do everything, that I needed to be able to, get the rest that I needed. And I've never done this type of thing before. Yeah, I did. I was a CNA for a while. I worked with people's family members. But when you are working with your own spouse or your own family member, it's different. I could leave the patients that I was with, even though I did a live-in job. Most of the time when I was a CNA, I could leave the patient that I was with. I could go home every, couple weeks. I could do that. But there was nowhere to go when I was caring for my husband, right? So there's a thin line between wife and caregiver. And sometimes it got blurred for me. So sometimes I was acting like his caregiver when I should have been his wife. Sometimes I was acting like his wife when I should have been his caregiver. So it was a very daunting thing. So I had to be patient with myself, allow myself the time to go ahead and learn new things and do new things and ask questions of other people who had been in the situation, which back then, I don't think there were very many, or they weren't very apt to come forth and say that's what was going on in their household. Now there's more of a live or a video presence like I'm doing now, but back then it wasn't. So I had to, after the fact, when he got well enough to care for himself or do a lot of things for himself, I had to realize, and again, this is years later, that, I should have been more patient because I was more hard on myself for not knowing than I was about the whole situation. So it's just imperative that you take the time out to care for yourself, to put yourself first in this process, even though I know it's hard because you hate to see your loved ones suffering, whoever they may be. For me, it was my husband, and it was very difficult to see him in pain and not be able to take that pain away from him. Very similar to what it would have been for a child. This is a person I love. This is a person that I know intimately, and I know his pain threshold. And when he reached that, or the pain exceeded that, I wanted to do more, and I couldn't because I had to take care of me and let the doctors do what they had to do and just trust the process that things would get better. So I hope this has been enlightening for you. I hope you give it some thought. I hope you share it with someone who you feel that it could benefit. But, you know, chronic illness is not easy. It's really not. It's a very daunting task for anyone that takes it on. So I commend anybody who has cared for a loved one, cared for a spouse, or even healthcare workers, essential workers that go out every day and care for those who are battling illnesses, because it's definitely hard to see. But they also have this removal from the situation because it's their job. But when it's someone you live with, someone you're close to, it's certainly very different. So be patient. Good things are coming. And I hope you tune in for the next video. Okay? Thanks.